So, just working on the deregulation. The red tape challenge is what I mentioned. It's a government process which we did the large report for. Things that we've managed to get kind of amended and removed weren't in the report. These are kind of separate. Energy performance certificates, need for entertainment licenses for live music, which was just crazy. Control waste regulations, age discrimination legislation. This was a real beauty. I had 3 years of kind of fighting the Equalities Office on this one. Their whole premise in the Equalities Office is that everyone should be treated equal, and you shouldn't be able to package up different offers to different people. And then when you say, well, equality is a good thing, you say, of course it is. But the tourism industry kind of survives on market segmentation. What you want to do is kind of have a product which you market to a particular group of people and say, this is suitable for you. So you get things like Saga Holidays, which provide holidays for the 50s, or you get the Club 1830. They're kind of targeting niche markets. That doesn't affect anyone's ability to take a holiday. It's just saying, if you would prefer to take a holiday with kind of a group of people who are your own age, probably share your own kind of views on life and experiences, then we can provide you with tailor-made product to do this. And even the Equalities Office said, in doing so, you don't distort the market. There's no problem for people who want to take a normal holiday without any age restrictions on it. But we're still going to legislate against you because we've got this desire to do so. And in the end, we got a compromise out of them about it, but it's hard work trying to kind of explain to people who have got a mindset of, this is the way things should go. Trying to explain this is actually how the industry operates and kind of provides the products and services that people actually want. And amended no smoking signs. That was great fun. Government said, we'll get rid of no smoking signs on buildings because everyone knows that you can't smoke inside. And then the anti-smoking lobby kind of came down and said at the last minute that if you take the stickers off the doors, then kind of people won't know that you can't smoke inside anymore. So it's like saying, you shouldn't kill people on these premises. So we'll have the notice up for that as well. But they did amend it, but we now only need one sign rather than a sign on every door. And that's the small amount of alcohol that bottle on the table. We're getting that through government at the moment. I'm hoping to hear something back in the next month that they've taken this on. And that's the task force report. So under kind of the specific issues, one of the big problems we've got in competitiveness in the UK is the level of VAT that we charge tourists who come here. We're part of a group called Tourism VAT campaign, and the problem is that kind of of the 27 EU countries, we're only 4 that charge full rate VAT on tourism accommodation. The other ones being kind of Denmark, Lithuania, Slovakia, I think, or Slovenia, sorry. Interesting kind of on note on what happens when you charge full rate VAT. In Denmark, you're charged full rate VAT on accommodation unless you have a self-catering business, and then you pay 0 rate VAT. As a consequence, over 50%, I think it's 55% of all accommodation in Denmark is now self-catering. It has totally skewed the market, and it shows what a competitive disadvantage having a high VAT rate on accommodation is. With the recession, most countries in Europe have reduced their VAT rate on accommodation to kind of spark their tourism industry and kind of get it to grow. Ireland reduced it, even Germany reduced their VAT rate on accommodation. What we did in the UK was increase it, which was really good going. We've worked out, go on to the next one. We've worked out using the Treasury's own computable general equilibrium model that if you reduce VAT on accommodation to 5%, it's basically revenue neutral. And what this means is that if you reduce it by 15%, you get an increase in tourism because you're more competitive by around 15%. So the amount that the government gets in totality stays about the same, which is really good news. And the other good thing about it is that the government's computable general equilibrium model, basically what it does is kind of takes one type of tax change and says this is the impact it will have on the entire economy, not just the industry. And if you make a tax change in one part of the economy, basically people stop spending on this and they start spending on that, which is of no benefit to the government at all, because people would have spent their money and the government would have got its taxes in anyway. But this shows that it's actually kind of stops people going overseas and spending their money holidaying in the UK and draws in more overseas visitors. So it's a net benefit to the economy, which is really good. So discussion with the Treasury are ongoing on that. Good example of how changing VAT rates kind of can boost the economy. France has reduced their VAT rate on restaurant meals from 9.6 to 5.5. In 2 years, they created just about 63,000 new jobs in the sector, and that's against the background of decline in the rest of the economy. So, changing VAT rates has a really kind of big impact on how an industry does and kind of employment issues as well. The EU has an allowance for countries to reduce VAT for certain industries that are labour intensive, and of course kind of accommodation and restaurants are labour intensive. There is a derogation which allows us to do it. It's just a case of convincing the government to do it, taking that leap of faith. And there's a website for you if you want to know kind of more about kind of the impact of VAT on tourism. Go to the Tourism VAT website and there's a whole lot of downloads and stuff you can do there.